Yep, us crazy green divas are still here.
Reinventing ourselves yet again.
Now we're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube.
You can find our videos and podcasts on all the usual places.
Still sharing low-stress ways
of living a deeper shade of green.
Hey there. Thanks for tuning us in. Thanks for watching, listening, whatever you're doing. I'm Green Diva Meg.
I'm Green Diva Lisa.
And yeah, you're with the Green Divas for a half hour of fun.
We're going to talk about the holidays and all the things we can do to green up our holidays this year.
The holidays, man. How to keep it green. So normally we'd be streaming. I'm just letting you know this one isn't streaming. Do you care? I don't know. But we'll be streaming again. We had like a really unusual, weird internet thing, which is all gone. But here we are.
Yep. We're doing it this way.
Ta-da! So today we thought we would talk about the theme of giving, this being the season of giving, love and generosity, right? So how do we give greener? How do we be more mindful?
And giving in the time of COVID as well. We've got all these extra restraints. And, but some of it's about good learning. It'll help us make better practices, I think, in some of the giving that we're thinking about.
I think so. I think it's just a challenge to be more creative in how we connect and give and celebrate with our families. And, so anyway, we're going to dig up some of our old, we've done a lot of posts on holiday giving. And hello, Liv, thank you she's our wonderful intern / producer. And thank you, Tom, giving Tom a shout out, our engineer. Liv was combing through our website and like talking about like, how about this DIY and how about that DIY? And I was like, I don't even remember that. It's like, literally 10 years plus of every year we do our things.
Some of the DIY projects that we're going to share with you today you'll be able to find on our website, thegreendivas.com.
Oh, nice plug. Go,
It's
girl.
my job.
But mostly what we try to highlight is upcycled projects, things that are sort of low impact on the environment, maybe using up some of the things that
we already have.
I love Liv came up with a bunch of toilet paper roll. I was like, oh, that's appropriate. Everybody's hoarding toilet paper, so you must have a lot of toilet paper rolls. Anyway, and Lisa will talk about eco gift wrapping. That's like your thing.
It has been since my kids were little.
I should have brought a sample of the thing that she wrapped a present for us in a brown paper bag with a pretty cutout of a card that you had.
That's one of the things
saved.
I do.
Yeah.
So what I've been doing is using things that I'm a traveler, so I use a lot of maps, and I don't really need maps as much with Google right now.
Yeah.
So I've been using a lot of my old maps, and then everyone knows it's from me, to wrap my presents. And then to decorate it, I've been taking my old Christmas cards and cutting the beautiful artwork. That's the thing about Christmas cards, beautiful artwork. And so I've been decorating the top of my packages with artwork from
So you get
Christmas
to reuse the cards, even though they've been written.
If the note's special, I actually save a lot of nicely written notes and letters and cards. So I have a little stash of those just for my own joy. But I take the artwork and reuse it.
This one, so crafty. So anyway, you want to get into it? Get into it?
All right. Well, as long as we're talking about wrapping paper, I'll have a couple other ideas. One, so my son is an architect, and one year, all the, you could see whose was whose under the tree. My presents were the ones with maps. His were the ones that were wrapped with old architecture drawings.
Wow.
When the kids were little, I used to use brown paper bags. Well, this year, because we haven't been able to bring our own bags into some of the grocery stores that we've been going to, we've been using the grocery stores we go to have been using paper bags until they ran out. And so I have more paper bags than I've ever had in a long time. So I'm reusing them by disassembling them, using the plain side and wrapping packages with that, and either decorating with cards. When the kids were little, I used to let the kids
Right.
color and paint and draw on them. So that was kind of fun for the people getting gifts. And so there's things like that we've been doing.
I like to draw and color and paint on them.
And you may,
But
you're welcome to. Yeah, but it's a fun thing to do with the kids too, or the grandkids, if you're lucky enough to be around them this season.
Right. Hey, speaking of grandkids, you did have something cute that you brought up about giving, and that, just because it's like a little segue, you know.
So for those who want to do things about superheroes for your grandkids,
This is
or
funny.
kids. I mean, we think of grandkids a lot. There's a chart which we'll put on a post of the greenest superheroes and not. And it's it's actually a pretty funny list. So number one on the most environmentally friendly is Spider-Man.
Spidey. All right.
Spidey.
Remember our nephew Jason was really into Spider-Man, like really.
Da, 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 da. Well, yeah. My kids were just a little bit younger than him, and they all had underoos and capes and ran around. It was very fun.
Did we just totally embarrass ourselves?
Aquaman, of course, was up there as well. The worst offenders.
You mean what's that actor's name that does Aquaman?
I don't even know.
Momoa. What's his name? Oh, can we just take him home?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't that be special? He's
The worst
eco-friendly.
offenders, by the way, are Batman, or Iron Man is the worst in this list. And then
That's really sad.
the
I like
Hulk
Iron Man.
and Batman come in just shy of Iron
what's
Man.
with Batman? I don't understand.
Well, he's got a lot
His
of
car?
heavy-duty technology. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm assuming this is just a sort of as if they were real calculations.
Of course.
Yeah,
And
right.
they actually were pretty succinct. And there's a whole chart that tells you exactly how they're scored.
So it's a thing, people. If you really want to stick to your green, eco-friendly values, then
Just so you know, Wonder Woman came in as number 5.
okay, that's not so bad.
And Superman,
Well, Wonder Woman barely has clothes.
right.
She has like a little crown and a belt,
You know, all that. She doesn't,
and
she
a
doesn't
piece
do
of
that much.
lingerie.
And then Superman, who everyone wonders about, came in at 21. So that's my story.
Really? Is that because he burns things lasers with his eyes? I don't
I'm not
understand.
quite
I'm going to
sure.
have to go look. Where did you find that?
I'll post it on our website.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have a
post.
post with all this fun stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's a fun little chart. Anyway, so when you're shopping superheroes.
Do it. So speaking of posts, I revamped one of my holiday posts that I do every year about ways to have a healthy, fun, mindful. And this year it's, healthy, fun, mindful, even during a pandemic. And I kind of had to go through the whole thing and really update how, the stuff is still relevant, all of it, except, the one about like being at a party. You're like, well, probably
That's not going to happen.
Probably not.
Hopefully.
Anyway, so that's kind of at the top of the blog right now. And I just use that as a basis for sort of talking about some of the things because they're still really pretty relevant. Like peace starts within. That's what my first thing is, because holidays, I don't know about this year, but most holidays get a little hectic, right?
I think the most hectic part of this holiday is going to be getting everything out in time to get them to your loved ones. Most of us won't be able to spend time with our loved ones.
Yeah.
So this is an urgent call to get your shopping done and get things in the mail.
I thought you were going to say get your together. That's what I thought you were going to say. Get your together. Well,
speaking of getting your shit together.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So, it's just like we have to re-engineer how we do everything this year, whether it's delivering food or gifts or getting everything together, organizing Zoom calls, just thinking of it in a different way is a whole new level of, in some ways it'll be less stressful because we're not cooking big meals for big crowds and, whatever.
Which is, something we're going to miss.
But, the thing that I always like to think about, no matter how we're celebrating, whether it's pandemic or not, is it's a marathon, not a sprint. And then one year I was having so much, like stress about all of it that I wrote a post called Personal Energy Conservation for the holidays because, it's a lot.
Yeah, well, it's normally not a marathon. I mean, it's normally a marathon, but we're kind of, it's December 1st, folks, in our world here today.
So what's the pandemic equivalent of a marathon? We're like crawling? I don't know. It's weird. It's just weird.
But it does mean we have to up our game a little bit in terms of being ready.
The other thing is remembering the reason for the season. Now, you don't have to be Christian. I think in general for me, because I'm not really I wouldn't even call myself Christian, but, baptized that way. I'm not religious, put it that way.
Right.
But you don't have to be Christian. There are a lot of different holidays for different people this time of year. And I think generally speaking, it's just this time of generosity and family and celebrating our togetherness, even though, we're not exactly doing that.
Mm-hmm. But it's about remembering, because we can't be together, this is a good time to call people that are home alone. It's a difficult time for a lot of people to be isolated, especially for extroverts.
Yeah.
And
some of us introverts are kind of happy to be stranded at home.
But you're not home alone.
It's easy for me to say because I'm not alone. Yeah.
So call those people that that might love to hear from you and give them a distraction and a sense of love and caring.
Yeah, and being kind and loving and generous, it crosses all those boundaries anyway. So then make stuff. Our theme is like buy less, make more.
Uh-huh.
And when you have to buy local or sustainable when you're buying online.
Right.
But making stuff, my gosh, we could really have a whole show we really could just all about the stuff.
Well, we do. If you go to our YouTube page,
right.
If you go to our YouTube channel, Green Divas, right? Is it Green Divas Radio? Green Divas.
No, the Green Divas.
The Green Divas on YouTube. You'll see a whole channel. And on that are a lot of DIY projects.
I think what she's trying to say is search for the Green Divas channel on YouTube.
Thank you.
I think that's what you meant.
So many options. So many directions.
I know.
Anyway, so there's a bunch of stuff that we've made over the years that we've put on YouTube.
Well, Lisa and I spent like a year making DIY videos. It was like so much fun. Remember? We started in your apartment in Maine with the preserved lemon video, which I still think is one of our better ones.
Which is something, if you're interested in making, you need to make now because it takes 3 weeks to be ready to use.
Or you can give it to somebody with instructions, don't open for a week or two or whatever.
Yeah,
but
yeah. It's nice not to.
That's mean, right? Here's a gift, but don't touch it for 3 weeks.
So the preserved lemons are, they're salt preserved and they are great in so many things that you make.
They really, I'm pretty addicted
every
to them
kitchen
still.
should have a jar of them.
Yeah.
And in France, every kitchen does have a jar of them pretty much.
And then the Pre-Poo, we made the Pre-Poo Spray in your apartment. We did that video there. And that's kind of clever stuff. It's easy to make and,
And it literally is, before you use the toilet, if you know you're going to poo,
5 or 6 squirts. And then you go.
And it works. It's amazing. Yeah.
It really does.
And then we've both been making the foaming hand soap continually. Almost every Christmas, somebody gets a few, we pass out a few of those in our various families.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like I haven't bought foaming hand soap in years now because once you get your own jar or whatever, then you just remake it. It's so easy.
Gosh, it's so easy. Yeah, you just need the right pump for it. That's all.
And I'm a knitter, so I'm knitting like a mad woman. Tom's got 2 hats already because I started stress knitting on the day of the election, and I'm not stopped.
And we're not stopping.
And I'm not stopping. So Lisa's got a hat. Liv, you'll get a hat. Everybody gets a hat.
Everybody gets a hat.
And you get a hat. And you get a hat.
I remember when we were doing the protesting.
The pink hats.
The pink hats for
the
women.
Pink pea hats with the little ears. I made like 50 of those, and friends from all over the country wore them. I mailed them out.
I got one.
Yeah, someone down in Austin, Texas. My friend Amy and my friends from Boston, she and her daughter stopped and picked them up on their way down to Washington, D.C. I was pretty proud of that, actually.
Yeah, that was nice.
Oh, yeah, you got one at our sister's house. Well, that's a whole nother story.
And, printing photos and sending photos are a great
Who prints
holiday
photos
gifts.
anymore? I'm going to start doing that.
Everything's on my phone. I feel like I have my photo album on my phone. We all do.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something really nice about having a framed photo that you can have in the house.
It's true. Just put a pretty frame on it.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing I was thinking about, and I wrote about in here, is forgiveness is a great gift.
For who?
Well,
for you mostly, right? For
Yeah,
you personally.
as it turns out, it's an inside job. Holding on to resentments takes a lot of energy. So, it's a good time to work through that so that you can really enjoy your family. And anyway, Julie Bond Genovese and I did a GD Spirit Pub podcast that I link it in this blog, but all about forgiveness. And, it's a process. But moving on to the more practical things like buying less, I just, I stopped buying all that crappy sort of plastic stuff to fill the stocking, just the stuff that's, probably made in China and not made very sustainably. And
well, one of the things, obviously, if you are going to buy, you buy local, you buy artisan, you support people that need support, or you buy music.
Oh yeah,
we have a lot of artists here if you look behind us, this is a recording studio here, and we have a lot of artists that need the support this year. So buy music, buy their music, go to their websites.
Well, and I would segue out of my little list here to talk about the fact that we're recording this on Giving Tuesday, but every day should be Giving Tuesday. And there are organizations, I was thinking about musicians in particular, there may be musicians that you want to support that really need support right now.
Right. There are those. I've made a little list here of things that I thought would be thoughtful from a Green Divas point of view, besides music. Also, the National Parks Project. It's called the Parks Project. And it's a website. You can buy things if you wish to buy things as gifts, or you can just donate money there on this Giving Tuesday.
Right.
Green Giving Tuesday. And there's going to be a Green Giving Tuesday every Tuesday from now till Christmas.
Every day is Green Giving Tuesday.
The other ones, 350.org is one of the ones I like. And on Green Giving Tuesday, they will match dollar for dollar. And their whole purpose is to help dismantle the fossil fuel industry, which I'm kind of all about. I think it's time. Obviously, it's going to take a long time before we disengage from the fossil fuel, but we need to really spend that money to figure out how best to employ the people that are most affected by dismantling the fossil fuel company or industry.
There's just so many organizations. One of my favorites every year is Heifer International, which is all about buying farm animals, goats, heifers, cows, chickens for folks in developing countries who really a goat could mean a difference.
It changes their whole world. And speaking of developing countries, I've talked about this before. It's on our website. I'm going to have a section for shopping, but this is a shopping and giving opportunity. Who Gives a Crap is the name of the company. And it's a toilet paper and paper towel and tissue company that uses sustainable products, and they give 50% of their earnings they use to build hygienic toilet facilities in places that don't have them. And there are like 5 million places that don't have them.
Get toilet paper and give while you're doing it.
Right.
Give a crap.
Who gives a crap?
I give a crap.
I give a crap.
So should we segue back to some of the holiday stuff? Because I feel like, no, it's okay. I feel like the time is like, buy local, which we've talked about. Obviously, please try to support, because right now more than ever, our local businesses are struggling.
And if you're not going out and actually shopping, a lot of your local stores, you can call them on the phone. If they, go to their website, see if you can buy from them and send from them. And some of them, like there's this great little toy store at near where my grandkids, they don't even have a website. It's an old mom and pop store that has great stuff. So I'm just going to call them on the phone and then they will send and wrap to where they're going. So check out your local places that way.
So regifting, like I know it's frowned upon in some circles, but let's be honest, like, you get stuff that maybe you just can't use. It's not that it's junk, but that you just can't use it or you won't use it. So why not? Really, it should be acceptable. I did that though once too.
I know what you're going to say.
No, my ex-husband's wife. I wrapped up a gift she had given me. Why? I don't know.
Oops.
And had my daughter give it to her, not thinking. It was like in the regift pile. And she was like, oh, thanks. I was like,
you might want to mark those things in your gift closet or space.
It wasn't
until
like
it's time to give it away. So
I didn't mean anything by it, but it just looked pretty bad.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm sure you were marked for it.
Right? I know.
But yeah, if there's stuff that's brand new or, stuff you're not using that's brilliant and somebody else will love it, then why not?
So the other thing is I had written a whole thing about sticking to healthy routines, which I think in this year is probably more important. I mean, but it's nothing different than we're already doing. But I think a lot of what I talk about in this is food and, sticking to your healthier routines while we're going out to all these parties with all this really crazy food. So I'm going to save that because we're going to do a holiday foodie episode.
Thing, yeah.
So ease up on decorations, people. Oh my.
We don't have to decorate as much, most of us.
Yeah, that's kind of exciting, But like the yard decorations, come on. Lisa and I drove by a house the other day. It's actually someone we knows lives there, but they didn't put it's a long story, but
it looked like a massacre.
It looked like because the holiday,
those blow up things, they take a motor to keep them blown up. They're made of God knows what kind of plastic. They're probably not made in the US. They're probably made somewhere else. And,
but they look cheesy to me. I mean, personally, I did see a little baby Yoda that I thought if I had to have a blow up doll on my yard, it would be baby Yoda dressed as Santa. That's it. That's all I could do.
It's adorable, but we really need to try and get off plastic.
But this one yard looked like a graveyard of massacre.
Did.
Yeah,
it looked like the blow up Christmas doll massacre.
So like all the lights and things, folks, it's lovely, but try to minimize it a little bit, and I'll tell you why. There is a thing called light pollution, which we've learned about. So it's not only the energy being used, but there's actually a thing called light pollution. And some, neighborhoods really we have that neighborhood where we grew up that like it lights up the sky. And it's cute, but
we don't get to see the stars. Like we moved out here to the country and I was so excited about the quiet skies and stuff. And you know what? It's not that. I don't see as many.
Because Newton, the county seat, is right over the ridge, in front of our view, and it glows.
Honestly, I do not see any more stars here than I did when I lived in Portland, Maine.
When I lived in Sparta, we had a beautiful night sky. There wasn't as much, but yeah.
So sorry. We want to see the stars. We want to celebrate.
So anyway, I on the post, I do list this. There's a segment, really nice segment about light pollution, which we'll cover again.
Oh yeah, we'll have to talk to the Dark Ranger and get the scoop about what's going on these days.
Oh my gosh, we have to do your segment. We're going to run out of time.
Of course we are.
Holy moly, no. So let's do it. So all Lisa, go. You go, girl.
So we have a segment that right now we're calling companies we like. And our sponsor for that segment is Your Arbor. So this is all about when you have to be online shopping, which a lot of us are doing right now. Your Arbor is a browser extension. So up in the top of your computer, there'll be an icon of this gorgeous tree. or gorgeous tree. In my mind, it's gorgeous. It's this big, but in my mind, it's gorgeous. So when you go onto a site like Amazon or some of the places that you tend to be shopping, then you click on that icon and it'll score what that company's doing. But that score is based on your algorithm. So when you first sign up, which I really recommend you do, it's free. Yay. You sign up, you answer the survey, and then it will build an algorithm based on your values.
So if you want to stick to your values while you shop, right? So like maybe for us, it might be more environmentally is a higher rating for us. And for someone else, it might be a social justice issue, but it's your values that it follows.
So not only that, when you go on a site, say you found the television you want to buy online, I guess laptops probably is more safe. You click on that on the site that you're at. And then on the right side, they look for an icon. If there's an icon on the right side of your screen, you click on that and it will show you that item sold by other stores. And then you can check the scores on those other stores. Anyway,
cool.
yourarbor.com.
Do it. It's super easy and
do the
amazing.
Survey, super easy, and shop with your values.
Do it.
All right. So having said that, I'm going to pick a company each episode that I want to talk about. And today's company, which we did talk about on our failed streaming situation because of technology, but I want to cover these because they're really good. So today's company is Grove Collective,
Collaborative?
Collaborative.
I'm looking at it going, I think it's
Grove Collaborative. So this is a company where I've been purchasing all of my household goods and my beauty products, which I really don't buy anyway.
But you don't need them, honey.
Oh, thank you, sis. Anyway, so here's what I count on from this company. I count on them vetting companies that use non-toxic materials, that have ingredients, transparency, plant-based formulas, 100% cruelty-free, sustainable materials, and best of all, they are 100% plastic and carbon neutral.
Wow.
And
wow.
Yeah, that's wow for a company that's selling paper and cleaning products.
I'm assuming like in their vetting process, they also probably do the production process. How sustainable is their
It is all about
manufacturing
and their distribution and all of that stuff. So
supply chain.
If you want the VIP membership, it's only $19 a year. And that gets paid for very quickly.
Do we have a VIP?
We do. That gives us free shipping.
Well, she does. I just kind of,
Well, that way we make our orders together, which you can do with family and friends. And what I do is I keep a running thing. So if I think of something I need, I already have a website account. I go put it on a list. And then I wait until my list gets big enough to justify the shipping impact. And, Megan will put stuff on that she wants as well. And
yeah, I really like that. Like we can buy soaps in pouches to refill our, whatever. Yeah.
And this is what I learned recently that I didn't even know until I started to, re-research the company. Those are recyclable. So you get these beautiful glass bottles. So I've got one for bathroom, one for multi-purpose, one for glass. And they've got different color silicone bottoms on them. And so I know which is which. And the refill is this big. So I get a concentrate. I buy that. I pour it in, add water, bada bing, bada boom. Then I learned you can take those bottles for the refills and the pouches. Like I have this pouch like this for dish soap, and you can do it for hand soap and other things. And those are all recyclable. They'll give you a free shipping label that you print out, package up when you have enough of them, and send them back to the company, and they'll recycle them. And that's one of the ways they're being
they're an
plastic
awesome
and
company.
Carbon neutral.
And I guess we should start wrapping up.
It is. So remember that every day is a Green Friday. Every Monday's Green Monday, Cyber Monday.
Well, first
And
thing I want to
every
do
day
is
is
just
Green
remind
Tuesday.
people that
Every week.
Lisa's awesome segment is sponsored by YourArbor.com.
YourArbor.com. And we're going to put a little segment on the website that will, I keep researching these companies. So, and I'm
She's
just going
got
to
a
keep
list.
putting them up on the website. So you can, when you're shopping, if you want to look for things that have already been vetted, companies, then go on our website, look for companies we dig or whatever we call
And
that.
we haven't figured out what to call it. Maybe you could help us figure it out. I don't know.
I need it.
Follow us on all the usual places in social media land and tell us what the heck to call this segment.
And do us a favor. If you know somebody that appreciates the stuff that we have to share, please ask them to check in and send them information about our shows.
Yeah. Share it up, people. And in the meantime, stay safe, healthy, and green.
Thanks.
Bye. So, what'd you think?
Let us know.
And in the meantime, follow our YouTube channel. Follow the Green Divas on Instagram, Facebook, all the usual social media hangouts. And now you can ask your smart speaker to play the Green Divas podcast.
And I have a favor. Please share this with your friends. Thanks in advance.